welcome to another episode of Shoot the Ish. And today, as you can see, I got on my show soldier shirt. Now, this is what I'm going to say in reference to just the definition of a soldier. Now, always, for those who know me, know I was in the military. But when I say soldier, soldier doesn't always necessarily mean war. But a soldier is someone who stays on the defense just in case something may pop off. A soldier is a person who also is just like always cautious because, again, you understand that anytime a war can break out, right? And a soldier is a person that is prepared for the war and can fight when that war actually happens. But the reason I explained this was based on the massacre that happened, right? Now, I know when it happened, I was thinking about just jumping on and just talk about it, right? But one thing about me, I just don't run my mouth if I'm passionate, because sometimes running your mouth without thinking can always lead to a lot of mistakes. I always say, never run your mouth if you can't back up what you are about to say, because all those fake apologies, people say, I like to apologize. No, that was how you were feeling. But what actually made me wait was I just wanted to, put it like this. As far as you guys know, anytime I do a topic or anytime I do a show, it's always going to be about something, but it's about the deeper meaning. Like, I like to go into the meaning of not just about the act, but the message behind it, like the meat of it, right? Now, based on the thing, by watching it, obviously it was a travesty, massacre, and everything of that sort. There were actually live videos out that show what actually happened. I actually seen it. I was like, whoa. And what was baffling to me was like, okay, obviously the guy was 18. But you know what? I realized it'd be a lot of times this happens, it's usually the people that are young. You didn't even start your life yet. But at the same time, you have that much hate. Now, when you read everything that literally happened, the guy was like, I think they said a year before the incident happened, because he just basically graduated high school. He's been out of high school for a year, but while he was in high school, he basically was supposedly he was supposed to do something like a school shooting. He was talking about it, and they sent them to be evaluated for mental health evaluation, and this could lead into like the gun laws. But if a guy was talking about shooting up a school, which they also said that the school kind of swept it under the rug too, and just basically sent them to a mental health location just so he could be evaluated. Then they said he was on social platforms, even a half an hour prior to committing the massacre, that he was talking about, hey, do you guys want to see or post all the information about how he was going to act it out. And he scoped everything. Like, this is the thing. He scoped everything out. He probably been there a couple of times just to scope where things are located and everything of that sort. So you hear this, and they said it was 10 people that died and 3 people injured. I think by seeing the video, what I really said to myself, I mean, any life lost is very serious. But I was saying, it's a food market. And there was no kids in there. Little kids. Probably a 5-year-old or 6-year-old. To the point that it was literally, like, when you see the video and they showed it, he was shooting black people. There was a person who worked in there that was white. The person said, no, don't kill me. No, don't kill me. And then he told him, like, all right, move out the way. Go. And then literally right after he told him move out the way, went to go shooting other people. So I said to myself, I was like, thank God it was no kids in there. Can you imagine if it was five? Would he had looked at a 5-year-old and had that much hate in him that he would have killed the little kid? And I think the thing that literally always bothers me when you hear about these hate crimes or these people who have been radicalized for white power and all that stuff, I say to myself, I'm like, what is it that, like, I truly want to know. I would love to have a panel of white guys and we just talked about race, because I truly want to know, like, what is it that that person sees to make them believe that they're going extinct or that the world is going to look out for the black person? Seriously, because you got, I mean, we all have eyes, and I don't think anything is happening for blacks anytime soon. Look, let's be honest. Biden came out to the meeting, right? I mean, to the massacre, right? And we hear nothing about, the African American hate crimes act or bill, whatever. We don't hear that. Shit, we can't even get an anti-lynching bill to be passed. So again, if that doesn't happen, we can't even get an anti-lynching bill to get passed as well. So if these things don't happen for black folks, what is it that you guys can feel, or the people who have all this hate, what is it that you feel black people are going to get? Help me to understand that. Look, let's be honest. If we're probably the only race that, we're not going to even, we're not going to hook up our race for a job, a position, we do ourselves dirtier than anybody sometimes do us. Like, everybody else get hooks up. Like, if I saw an Asian person in there, 9 times out of 10, that person may promote that Asian. You see somebody Spanish, they may promote that Spanish person. But us oh no, you got to work hard. There's no such thing as nepotism, and we want to do everything the equal way. But the reason that sometimes happens because we know what it feels like for things to be done not fair. And all the thing that blacks have ever asked for was fairness. So again, I want to understand, what is the hate all about? Like, what could you watch on TV and say, man, look at them. They got all those gold chains on. Look at Jay-Z. Look at these people. Look at these people. Look how rich they are. We're talking about entertainers. Who cares? And we all know, like, if that's what you believe, or this is why you may hate, this is why you think we're taking over. No. If that's what you think, I would switch to be a rich white guy. To be a white guy in America is a privilege. Because one thing, like, you hear it, right? And not to say it like that. I'll say it like this. There are things that, as a black person, we just naturally just think about that no one else. I'll give you a prime example. Watch this. When thinking of moving, a black person will say, no, I ain't going over there. I heard like they racist over there. They'll probably hang you over there. Don't go this part in the country. Don't go this part in the country. Don't go over there. Hell no, I ain't moving upstate Jersey. I ain't moving more South Jersey. I ain't going over there. So, or wait. Oh, I got a nice car. I gotta make sure we got all this stuff. Make sure our paperwork is right. Make sure all this stuff is right. Because I'm in this nice car. They're gonna see me. I shouldn't be in this car because automatically. These are things that we literally think on a daily basis of just being a part of just life in itself. And then some people may say, well, nah, that you're far-fetched. But let's be honest, right? When something gets too bad, some people just move out. But when they want it back, they can think about it, gentrification. When you want to get it back, believe me, look out overnight, it'll be where it needs to be. But it's really not about white, black, white, Asian this, Asian that, Asian versus black. You just have to understand that the news, to me, I believe that the news is very biased. But to all those who watch the show, news is preserved. Always, when I say news is preserved, meaning that anytime something is reported, you can always find it. It's preserved. It's there. The articles are there. The stories are there. You have to read it. And the reason why I say that, because when you think about hate and how the news plays hate on things, right? The news made you believe that blacks were attacking Asians. Which, in fact, there were instances in where that happened, right? But let's not get it twisted. It's happened the same way if Asians attacked black people. There was, like, I'm from Jersey. Back in the 90s, it was there was an Asian store owner, 14-year-old girl. I guess she was at the Chinese store getting something to eat or whatever. And I guess it was just some argument happened. But the chick was 14. It happened in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I think it was like the mid-90s. And 14, he ran after her with a machete and chopped her. I mean, gave it a hatchet, right? And technically, they couldn't find a guy. I guess he went back, flew back, or whatever. They couldn't find her, but she lived, but she has this big mark across her face. Always remember, even in during the Rodney King thing in like the lady shop owner shot the girl, killed her, and she got off. So understand that the news will play a certain part in reference to how America is and how they view things. But in all those cases, it's someone doing something to us and they get away with it. We all seen on social media how they say when this group of people, when whites have a tendency to do a mass shooting, they get arrested, handcuffed. But when the unarmed black person, when anything happens and they're unarmed, they have a tendency to die. Now, the purpose of asking this or saying even all of this is something simple. What are you truly afraid of? What are we getting as black folks that you fear that you are losing out? Or you feel like we're taking? Do you not have eyes? Do you not see? Do you? I mean, if you have eyes, the same eyes that you have to be on the internet building hate to dislike. One thing that anybody will tell you is that black people are very forgiving people. Blacks will make anybody that looks uncomfortable comfortable, except sometimes our own people, our own kind. So again, like I say, what is it that you're hating? What is it that you feel that blacks are taking away that you can't have or that you already don't have? Or if we're taking it away, obviously you have it, but what is it? It damn sure ain't the law. Damn sure ain't the laws. And always understand something. There's a difference between an act and a bill. An act is something that has a time limit. So let's even be honest, any of these Civil Rights Act, it's an act. It expires. They just reinstate it. The Asian Anti-Hate Act is something, yeah, they got it, but it's still something that can expire. It's not even a law. So again, when you hate a people, a group of people, are you smart enough to see no matter what, you're good? Because at any time, those acts can be overturned or they can expire. And 9 times out of 10, depending on who's the president, they can say, no, I didn't readmit it. So what is it that you hate? What is the deep root of hating something? The fear of something, the fear of thinking something could happen? But all you need is facts. You got to just look. Look, I feel like if you're on the internet looking to hate or looking to belong to something, look at other stuff. Read the real things and be able to say, like, yeah, I know I'm hating them because of this. But let's be honest. Is that true? Should I be hating a person for that? Should I be hating a person because, oh, I feel like they're taking out women? I feel like, and to be honest, there's people will learn to hate, but sometimes their lack thereof knowing. And it's not just like, when you talk about just hate in itself or racism in itself, you got to sometimes look at, like, ask yourself, why is it that you feel that way about that person? America is a place I love. I live here. At this point in your life, if you don't really like America, you can literally move to any way you want to move. So it'll never be a situation where I'll ever get on the internet and say, I hate America, da, da, da. Like, I always found that funny when I see people do that. I was like, well, you can't leave. That's just the fact of it is. We all have, like, at the end of the day, nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. But yet, you have to understand that when you believe something, there are things to show you, should you still have that belief? Is there any validity in your belief? Because you're not silly. We all have eyes. Come on, you don't know that things aren't fair in this country? And I could be honest with you. The person who hated, or the one who commits these massacres, because during that same day, it was a couple of shootings against minorities that same day. But would you want to switch with me? Or would you like to be who you are? So, to me, I always question that thing of hate. Like, why? Why? Truly, why? So, to me, the only thing I could say is dig deep into yourself. For any of those who watch this, whether or not, we're going to be a people who have our dislikes, but I think the passion to really go somewhere, to kill a specific group of people, to orchestrate that, to have a plan to say, hey, that place, I know it's a lot of blacks I don't like over there. I know there's a lot of them that be there. And I'm about to execute them all. Every black person I see, I'm about to kill up. That's a lot of hate. And at the age of 18, what have you seen that would make you have that much hate to act on something like that? It baffles me because at 18, you guys are on, so you don't even have a lot of responsibilities in life. So you could be researching to see if the hate you have, where did it come from? Is it valid? It truly baffles me. And as I stated in the beginning, I said I got on a soldier shirt because I do feel like we as black folks, we are soldiers. We're on high alert. We're very cautious. Prepared? I don't think we're prepared for war, but we still believe that when we walk out, not only do we fear our own people, but we never know what the hell happened. We have to fear the same people that protect us as well. Now, I know I had an episode a long time ago and said, Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff. Yeah, I don't believe in that. And like I said, the average black person ain't walking out in society thinking that the cops going to get us. So I'm not going to even play that. I'm not going to even do that bullshit. But to me, these are the things that some of us think about. If anything, black folks are the most patriotic people there is. Now, you guys can look up all the history of blacks in America. We're still here. We still believe in everything. We done built, they dropped, they took away, build again, took away. And then we're called the lazy people. Come on. Pay attention to your history. Sometimes you even got to look at certain scenarios where we may say, where did these stigmas come from? Think about it. When you were a kid and you say, looking at cartoon, we don't make these cartoons. You had things from Looney Tunes, Warner, which was Warner Brothers. You had things from Disney. Look at the way cartoons were. Look, it's there. So what I would simply just say is that the things that we see, the things that we say, the things that we hear, is this where we get our hate? This is where we get our disgust in people? When we watch movies, when we watch the biased news, I won't do like Trump and say, when we watch the fake news, that was a horrible Donald Trump. I'm sorry, I don't do impersonations. But when it's all said and done, like where does the hate come from? And I just always found it like a little hilarious when people say they really hate black folks. You hate black folks. What is it that you hate about black folks? Seriously. I true, because the hate means it's like when you say I'm hating out because you wish you could be in that predicament, but you're in this predicament. I hate them. Man, they doing that stuff. I don't even want to say it. We can't even say ball no more because we got some white boys that can ball. You can't even, what is it? We could dance? No, white folks could dance too. Asians could dance too. What is it? We could cook with some seeds? What the fuck? What is it that you're saying that black folks are getting that you can look at from afar and be like, I hate them? Because they got all that what? They got all that what? Wealth? They got all the good jobs. Really? Again, this is why I say it. I don't get it when people are that mad to go out and kill black folks. Now, be honest, one thing I thought about, I was like, when you really think about the world in itself, is there any place where the black person is safe? Shit, when you go to other countries, the darker you are, the more you get treated like shit. So, is there any place where the black man is actually treated well? Maybe that's why it's easy to basically dispose of us. That's why it's easy to have laws that you knew, like, we want to abolish law. I mean, we want to abolish certain acts that actually happen. The Anti-Lynching Act. We can't even get that approved. I can't wait. I can't. We can't. You can't agree to pass on a law that will persecute those that lynch people. We can't get that. Oh, I know what you may say. It's probably other stuff in there. Remember, news is preserved. Look, let's be honest. When you look at what happened with the Asian anti-Asian hate act, that bill was passed. I think it was 164 to 62. So 364 people in Congress passed, said yay. 62 said nay. 62 people thought that it wasn't necessary. But we can't get the anti-lynching act passed. We won't. And look, ironically, will we get a African American anti-hate bill passed? No. But come on, guys. You see all the shit that happens with us. So, and nobody wants to hear black on black crime and all that stuff. Like, well, you guys, no. If you're in a community with your own people, 9 times out of 10, if you commit a crime, it's going to be probably against your own people. So when people use that black on black crime, that's just where you live, all right? And 9 times out of 10, if I punch somebody in the face and I live in a predominantly black neighborhood, or only black neighborhood, if I punch somebody in the face in that neighborhood, guess what they're going to be? They're going to be black. If I grew up in a multicultural place and I said I punched somebody in the face, you could say they were black. Sad, because I know we don't fuck with nobody else, so obviously it was going to be black. But no, I mean, just all jokes aside, it'll be a situation where you don't know who it could be. It could be anybody, so then we won't hear that black on black crime. But like I said, I wanted to talk about it and just look at it in a different way to be able to figure out or be able to understand why a person actually can really hate somebody or hate a group of people that much to go out and cause a massacre. How can you hate somebody that much? And again, like I said, to hate, you must be able to see something and say that these people are doing this and are taking this. I hate those rich people because they get to eat and I'm over here starving. See, they're eating. That's something you want to do, but you can't. So, again, what is it that black folks do that you can look at and say, I hate them because I can't do that? And this goes for a lot of us, like even minorities. I don't even like to say minorities. Black Asian, black Indian, South Asian, Spanish against, probably a Dominican against a Puerto Rican against a Cuban, Cubans against black, Dominicans against black. Understand where you guys get your prejudices from. It's all learned. It's all learned behavior. So, if anything, get to know people. Don't get to know a person because you think you know them through TV. Don't do that. Get to speak to someone, talk to someone, because guess what? I've actually seen this happen. It was like, they too hood. And I was like, it sounded like you want to say they act black, but the person who said it, I was like, I hate to tell you, I can show you a person in your ethnicity that act the same way. And what would you say? Would you say that person is acting? So you kind of gotta be very careful of your assumptions based on not knowing. You can't say you can't say that cake is disgusting if you never ate the cake. If you don't know your history, if you don't know the other person's history, and if you could care less, if you couldn't care less to know it, don't pass judgment on it. Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Don't pass judgment on someone that you know nothing about. You never know why that person may act like that. You don't know why the person feels the way they feel. But to go back to the hating thing, to kill someone, you can dislike somebody. You can kind of even hate on somebody because they got that nice car and you don't. But to have that much hate to kill people, that's a different thing in itself. And again, for those who think black people, look, who should people fear? Give us examples. Because like I said, the only examples I see, like, you guys are laughing. Yeah. And half of you guys know, if it was we all said, if you see a black man, they said it was a shooting, and he was running down the street with a rifle, bah, 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 you know he dead already. So let's be honest. No, we know what America actually is, or the way people view blacks in this country. Let's stop the hate and just take a bigger look at the bigger scope of things. Because let's be honest, to hate, like, sorry, I hate to say it, white people, or the you know what? I'm not saying white people as a whole. To the whites who actually have this hate in them, again, why? I don't know what we're taking. There's no laws for us. Let's be honest. So again, hate talking about this subject, but these are things that need to be talked about. But like I said, usually when there's something that happens, I don't really want to talk about the action that took place. I don't want to talk about the massacre. I want to talk deeper in understanding and trying to get to the why. Like, how can you have that mindset? What is it that you believe that you feel like something, like we're taking something from you? And it's sad people had to lose their life off of something that, if that person could have actually dug deeper into why they hate. Oh, they're alive. The kid's obvious alive. That's an interesting thing. If he chooses later on in life, explain it. But like I said, hopefully one day we may get an African American anti-hate bill. It's been a lot of us getting killed in mass shootings. So when it's all said and done, why you hate? Wish I knew. Don't. But sometimes even the reasons you hear sometimes make no sense. So I don't know. It's more rappers. I was just saying, look, what the fuck? I don't get it. But anyway, I like you guys to continue to help with the subscription, and thank those who are continuously subscribing. Can I get a couple of likes? Give me a like. Give me a share. Like I said, I definitely do this so that I can speak to my audience. I definitely do this because I actually enjoy it. And sometimes, you know what? For all those who still aspire to get their YouTube pages, to be influencers, put in the work. Even those days when you got one view, even if you got those one like, always understand why you do what it is that you do, and you keep that, let that be your motivation. Do what you want to do because you enjoy doing it. If you do it, they will come. So, on that note, let's go. In the comments, let me know. Oh, that was the wrong one. Oops, my bad. I think it was this one.
Come on, give me a like, subscribe, and share.
All right, good night. Peace out.